Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Jonathan back again with the weekly scuffle, and I'm here to talk about Viddal Riley's next fight versus Chev Clarke and what I think that means for British boxing in the cruiserweight division and world stage boxing in the cruiserweight division. As somebody who has followed Viddal since basically the inception of his pro career, it's very interesting to see the route he has taken. It has not been traditional by any sense of the imagination, but he has succeeded when he has been able to be in the ring, and it's been fun to watch. And honestly, I think this fight is a great next step for him. Chev Clarke, coming off a loss, challenging for the European title against Mosqueda. I think honestly, it kind of shows some flaws in Clarke's game, and I think Viddal can take advantage of them. I think Viddal has always been the better pure boxer out of these two, even if you include Chamberlain in that mix. I think out of those three, he's definitely the best pure boxer. I think we're just talking about boxing skills. Viddal might be top two in the cruiserweight division, but can he get to that top level? Can he stay healthy? Can he continue to fight? And honestly, I think this is a great proving ground for him. I believe the British belt will be on the line for this fight. Vidal has been the English title holder for a while now. I'm not sure if any of the sanctioning bodies are going to get involved with this fight. Maybe the IBF, WBC, WBO. We're not entirely sure about that yet, but regardless, I think this fight is going to be big for the cruiserweight division because, Chev, he is 34 years old. He kind of started his pro boxing career a bit later, and I think he really came out running, came out with some insane KOs, great ability, but eventually got found out at the European level. And I think Vidal has taken a slower time developing his fights. His fights have been spaced out because of injuries and whatnot. And I think now we're gonna definitely see what Vidal's made of, fighting on a Rig Magazine card, big event, hometown. I know he's a Spurs fan. It is in Hotspur Stadium, so it's gonna be very interesting for him to see how he performs in front of that crowd. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. I think Vidal definitely can win this fight. I think he's the favorite for me, even if I may be a little biased. But regardless, I think it will be a tough fight. I expect Vidal to win by UD or maybe even TKO, depending if Chev has been found out, if his chin maybe isn't all that. Regardless, I think it's going to be an amazing fight for British boxing and I think potentially for the cruiserweight division because I believe Vidal can make it to the top. I think any world champion other than Jai Opetaia, I think Vidal definitely has a good shot against, and I'm not going to count him out against Opetaia either, especially if he has a couple more developmental fights. Jack Massey, I think that's definitely a fight I want to see him in if he were to win this one. The Chamberlain fight, maybe it is a step back after Clarke, but I would like to see that fight just for the rivalry's sake. And regardless, I think it's still a good developmental fight. If Vidal were to fight three times this year, if it's Clarke, Massey, and Chamberlain, I think that's a great way to start off this portion of his career and potentially sets him up to fight for a world title at the beginning of next year. So regardless, I think this is a good move for Vidal. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he comes out in this fight. But with all that being said, we'll see how all this plays out and see you next time. Peace.